The Destroyers for Bases deal was an agreement between the United States and the United Kingdom on September 2, 1940, according to which 50 Caldwell, Wickes, and Clemson-class U.S. Navy destroyers were transferred to the Royal Navy from the U.S. Navy in exchange for land rights on British possessions. Generally referred to as the 1,200-ton type, also known as flush deck, or four-pipers after their four funnels, the destroyers became the British Town class and were named after towns common to both countries. U.S. President Franklin Roosevelt used an executive agreement, which does not require congressional approval. However, he came under heavy attack from anti-war Americans, who pointed out that the agreement violated the Neutrality Acts. Roosevelt approved the deal on the evening of August 30, 1940. On September 2, 1940, as the Battle of Britain intensified, Secretary of State Cordell Hull signaled agreement to the transfer of the warships to the Royal Navy. On September 3, 1940, Admiral Harold Stark certified that the destroyers were not vital to U.S. security. In exchange, the U.S. was granted land in various British possessions for the establishment of naval or air bases with rent-free 99-year leases, on Newfoundland, eastern side of the Bahamas, southern coast of Jamaica, western coast of St. Lucia, west coast of Trinidad, Gulf of Paria, Antigua, British Guiana, now Guyana, within 50 miles of Georgetown. The agreement also granted the U.S. air and naval base rights in the Great Sound and Castle Harbor, Bermuda, south and eastern coasts of Newfoundland. No destroyers were received in exchange for the bases in Bermuda and Newfoundland. Both territories were vital to transatlantic shipping, aviation, and the Battle of the Atlantic. Although enemy attack on either territory was unlikely, it could not be discounted, and Britain had been forced wastefully to maintain defensive forces, including the Bermuda garrison. The deal allowed Britain to hand much of the defense of Bermuda to the still neutral U.S., which freed British forces for redeployment to more active theaters, and enabled the development of strategic facilities at U.S. expense, which British forces would also use. Both the Royal Air Force, RAF, and the Fleet Air Arm, FAA, maintained air stations in Bermuda at the start of the war, but they served only flying boats. The RAF station on Darrell's Island served as a staging point for transatlantic flights by RAF Transport Command and RAF Ferry Command. BOAC and Pan Am hosted the Bermuda Flying School, but it did not operate maritime patrols. The FAA station on Boaz Island serviced aircraft based on vessels operating from or through the Royal Naval Dockyard, but it attempted to maintain maritime patrols by using pilots from naval ships, RAF Darrell's Island, and the Bermuda Flying School.